Well, hello there everybody, this is Josh from WhaleStream, and welcome to the Welcome Tour 2.0. This video is long overdue since we have made many changes since our first Welcome Tour video, so let's dive right into it. On the right side, we do have our options flow. On the left side, we have our dark pool and equities. The right side is real time. These trades are reported at the time that they are executed and reported to the exchanges. This left side is delayed 15 minutes from the time that it is reported to the exchanges. Now, by default, when you first sign up, your dashboard will be defaulted to the buy side. As you can see right here, buy flow. This is orders filled toward, at, or above the ask side, implied buys. Now, as you can see, puts are colored red and calls are colored green. That isn't just because calls and puts, we actually color our dashboard by sentiment. So red indicates bearishness and green indicates bullishness. And what this enables us to be able to do is if you wanted to flip on your merge flow or sales flow, so let's go to sales flow first, you'll notice puts are now green and calls are now red. That's because these orders are filled on the bid side, and when you sell a put, it's actually a bullish sentiment. So when you have your merged flow on, it's much easier to tell the sentiment of each trade. So this sold put is green, this bought put is red, and you can tell the bullish to bearishness of the trades simply by glancing and scrolling through. You could easily tell what the sentiment of each trade is. On top of coloring everything to make it quickly and easily digestible, we also add these little order tags or indicators to the trades as well that point out important details, like if the quantity of this individual trade is larger than the existing OI. So you can see this trade had 900 contracts traded and the OI was only 649. So something unique about this trade is it's actually a ridden trade. So what that means is that before this trade, the OI being only 649, and the volume including this trade, so including these 900 contracts, is 969. That means before this trade occurred, there were only 69 contracts traded so far today. So if you add that 69 plus the 649, that still only gives you about like 700 something. And this trade was for 900. So that means before this trade, the max that were in existence were 700 something contracts. This trade was for 900. There needed to be another 100 something, maybe 180 contracts created in order to fill the entirety of this order. So there was a seller that sold to open at a minimum about 182, let's see. Yeah, 182 contracts in order to fill the entirety of this order. Now that doesn't mean that this entire order wasn't opening, but we know for a fact that at least 182 of those contracts had to be ridden in order to fill it. Additionally, we have things like days volume is greater than the OI. That'll basically show up anytime that the quantity is greater than the OI because the quantity is part of the volume, and if that quantity alone is bigger, obviously the volume for the entire day will be larger as well because it includes that quantity. We have things like aggressive, so the far right will always be the type of execution, if it was a split, a block, or a sweep. And we have plenty of information of that on our website and other videos. So if you have questions about what those are, definitely check those out. Because we feel that it actually muddies the water for a lot of people, we currently filter out complex trades that are known to be part of a multi-leg strategy. We're going to be adding them soon, but we're going to be adding them in a unique way that helps you identify the type of strategy that's being used rather than just putting individual legs on the dashboard and you not knowing the true sentiment or what other legs it's associated with. What's really cool is any of these little indicators that I was just showing you, you could just click it and it'll filter only trades now that are showing the day's volume is greater than OI, which is what I clicked on. If you click it again, it'll remove it. Same with aggressive. You could do that with basically anything on here. Symbols, the sector, the side. So these all indicate the side of the trade towards bid, above ask, towards ask, bid, like on the bid, on the ask, etc. And again, You can sort any column, you can click anything. What's really cool that we have that's very unique is our order X-ray. So if we click that, it actually pops up for that contract. It's actually going to show additional trades. So since we clicked on a sold one, it defaults to the sell side. So it'll actually show you additional trades on the same strike and expiration. Not necessarily if this is a call or a put. It'll show you calls and puts on the same strike and expiration date, so you can kind of see related trades on that same strike and date. It'll also show you all these additional trade details, so you can get all the information on the trade as it was reported. And then you can click on the charts. And what this is, this top chart is actually the contract chart. So it shows the prices of these contracts. Obviously, these are expensive contracts because they're far dated on SPX, but it also will show you where the trade was executed. So this was a sell of 100 contracts at $142 per contract. And you can see that happened here. When you look over here on the stock chart, this is the actual underlying. And this one won't show you the dark pool levels because this is SPX and there's no actual trades on the underlying. But if you did that, if you clicked on that switch, it would, on a normal symbol, show you the different levels of dark pools right here on the chart. And the originating trade that you clicked on will always be displayed at the top. And then company just gives you some company information. Obviously this is SPX, so this one will be blank. But if you went to basically anything else, let's just do Tesla, boom, company, tells you all the details, shows you some news on the right side, etc. Let's go back to the dark pools. It is important to note that dark pools are private exchanges that are only available to institutions and smart money. So it's much harder to tell the sentiment, especially because of the way the dark pools work. There is no live order book. You can't see pending orders that are trying to be filled. It's just once an order matches up, it is executed. There's no bid and ask. It's just we have this limit in, we have this limit in, and it fills as long as they match up. We do our best to actually, on our side, determine if a trade was reported in a timely manner, and for those we will actually color them red or green. And if we can't determine if it's on time or not, or if we have no idea, we just leave it white. But so these we believe were filled towards the bid. Keep in mind these are assumptions based on the information we do have. It is not definitive. And then we believe these are on the buy side because they are towards the ask. Based on the information that we have. Again, not definitive, but it helps to paint a little bit better of a picture. At the top, we have our sentiment tool, which is very different and very cool. We have it so that it can show you both ways. So a lot of platforms will show you the sentiment based on volume. So put to call ratio based on the volume. In our case, we do bear to bull when it's on merged flow, because merged flow includes bought puts, sold puts, bought calls, sold calls. So since they have different sentiments, we actually will give you the net. So the net of the puts and the net of the calls, and then give you the bear to bull ratio. And then if you click on any of these, it'll actually switch to it by premium. So it's not by volume anymore, it is now by premium. So the sentiment will be calculated based on whatever is displayed on your options flow dashboard. So if you have filters on, like let's filter to SPY, this is now going to recalculate based on SPY and what is on your dashboard. So when you're looking at it by premium, it's got a neutral sentiment, but when you look at it by volume, it's actually got a bearish sentiment. I personally like to see a confluence between the two. When you see they're both bullish or they're both bearish between premium and volume, it's a much stronger sentiment than if one is bullish and one is bearish, because again, it's important to weigh it both ways. Yeah, there might be a ton of contracts being traded on one, but those contracts might be same day expiration, buying really cheap contracts, whereas a lot of the money is really going into the opposite direction, but they're buying less contracts, but a ton more money is flowing in. So it's really important to look at both sides to get an accurate depiction. Also, obviously we do have our filters, and we have so many filters to choose from. You can save and set filters, create presets. So you just click new, type in a name for your filter, and then boom, you have a new filter setting. You could set filters. It's basically like a workspace. So anything that you set filter wise, let's do that. Let's do splits. So now if I toggle to a different one, let's go back to the playground. That's where I usually hang out. It's going to have the filters I had on before. And then if I go back to that one that I just set, it's going to have those filters that I just turned on with splits and day volume greater than open interest. So they carry over. It makes it really easy to toggle between your favorite settings. You can also set notifications with that. So you can see I have notifications set for SPY and SPX mega 5-day expiration. So things over $1 million out the money that expire within 5 days. Now let's dive into the market tracker. So at the top, you'll actually have the stock chart, and this chart will also have the dark pool levels. It'll show you levels above as well as levels below, and you can see these levels really do act as a strong support and resistance. You can see they're almost like glued to these levels, and then bounce or reject from them. So dark pool levels, very useful. It'll show you the most active strikes on the buy side as well as the most active strikes on the sell side over the past 5 trading days. And then another visual of the dark pool levels showing where the current price is, and then the levels below and above it. And then you can kind of get a better idea of how strong those levels are based on how much money has flown into the stock at that price point. Over here we have the overall open interest summary over the last few trading days. It is total calls open interest across every strike, every expiration, and total puts open interest over every strike and expiration as well. And it just shows you how that open interest has changed over the past few days. Then you'll see today's open interest movements, so the largest increases and decreases of open interest on that symbol, the major holders, and news. Extremely useful. Refresh this page throughout the day to get updated levels and stuff like that, and it's an extremely powerful tool. We do have our top flow, top OI changes, all of that. You could search through OI. I'm not going to dive into all that in this video, maybe in another video. The dashboard will always be showing the most recent trading day's flow. So right now it's showing us Friday, 11/25, but you can also easily toggle on. So let's just put a filter on, filter to BABA. We can go to historical flow, choose some dates. Let's just do the whole month. And we could actually see all the way back to the beginning of the month, all of the trades that have hit WhaleStream on BABA that have met the other filters that we have on, which is this and splits. Sorry, let's turn those off. And then we could just see every BABA trade this month. And there you have it. So that's the historical flow. You just choose a date range, apply some filters, and you could look back in time and see the trades that have occurred, and you can do your back testing on what type of flow. You know, you could look into aggressive, you could look into unusual to kind of see what's the success rate of each filter. You could do all of your back testing, travel through time and space, do whatever you want. We do have it all available to you. If you ever have any questions, this chat is a public chat for all of our members to communicate with each other. We also have our Discord over here. It's free for everybody. You don't need to be a WhaleStream user. You don't need a WhaleStream account. You just need a Discord, and you can communicate in there. There are some private channels just for WhaleStream members, but it's a community. So we'd love to have you, even if you're not on the WhaleStream platform. That's all for today. And if you have any questions, definitely shoot them in the chat. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.